Dr. Decks here. Today it's all about getting the roof decking down so our roofers can come in on Saturday and roof this thing. So we got our ridge beam, our center post, our ridge beam, all the brackets up, all the bolts are in, and we got our rafters up yesterday and secure. And now we're starting to lay the car decking down on top of the roof so that is the last step before we put down some tar paper. We're actually laying ice and water guard by Vicor. So once that's down, then it'll be ready for roofing. Then we just have some trim to do and we're done.
Yes.
This is gonna be our starter board for the next side.
How's it going?
Good, good. Sun's coming out and we got half of our roof decked. Now we're going to the other half and my hat doesn't want to stay up. It bugs me. Yeah.
What's happening?
I need to notch one of these boards so that it'll fit around the corner of the house. Pretty cool. I'll catch another view in a minute. Alrighty, over and out. All right, so we've got most of our sheathing laid on top of the roof, except for 3 boards. We had a problem. A lot of these boards were not grooved deep enough in the groove section of the board. So when the next tongue would go into here, it wasn't going in deep enough because this groove has been not milled properly. So now I got to bust out my mill, which is actually my table saw with a bunch of 10-inch table saw blades stacked together, and make these grooves deeper. But at least I don't have to do 3 boards. Unfortunately, we cut up about 6 or 7 boards and kept thinking something was wrong until we realized the mill did it. It's bad mill, bad mill. So something we got to deal with here on site if we want to fix it and keep going. If not, you know, we'd have to shut everything down and wait 3 days to get the lumber. So we're not doing that. We're gonna make our own. We're gonna make a dado. All right, so a couple of really trick features about this particular cover is, for one, it was completely engineered. So we had our engineer calc out the beam sizes and the post sizes and bracketry and all that. So these are 6 by 11 and 7/8 inch glue lambs, structural glue lambs that hold up this cover. And then we put 6 by 6 smooth pressure treated posts in between, and we use these really awesome Simpson strong tie brackets that were powder coated black from the factory, and we use those throughout the build. some really nice bracketry to help us build this thing up. I'm confident that this thing is not going to fail or have any issues in the future. We also used 4x6 rafters every 3 feet or less, and then we put 2x6 tongue and groove car decking, Doug fir decking on top, so it's all locked together and very stable, super strong. And then we kind of conceal fastened all of our rafters. So we have Fasten Master Pro or Fasten Master timber locks going from the ridge into the ridge beam, into the rafters into the ridge beam, and then there are also 8-inch timber locks going from the bottom side of the rafter into the top of the glue lambs. So not only is the ridge beam holding up the rafter, it's locked in down there, so this thing cannot move. So it's pretty stable. We still have a little tiny bit of wobble in it, but that's because of the overall height. Our minimum height is at 12 feet, and then it ridges up to 15 feet. So this is probably one of the taller structures I've ever built, and it's freestanding. So I have a couple tie-ins at the house on this one far corner, and that's about it. Everything else is pretty much locked and loaded and standing on its own. All right, so our 99% of our top deck is done, except where you can't see right now, there's a little ridge that I have to put in. So I have to take 2 pieces of material and put them together and bevel them so I can make a peak, because I just talked to the roofers and they don't want a flat spot sitting in this roof. So I have to put down a scrap piece of material on this ridge and then put in these 2 pieces to create a complete peak, because right now our deck board or our decking stops right about like this. So it's flat and like this, and we need to finish that peak out like that. So that's what I'm going to do next. And then it's about, we got to put our trim. We're going to have cedar trim on the outside of this thing on both sides, and then trim along the fronts of where the gutters are going to go. And then we're pretty much buttoned up with this cover, except for roofing. The roofer, I'm subbing that out. The roofers are coming Saturday to come install that. So what I got to do is create 2 small pieces out of tongue and groove that'll fit in that peak. But before I do that, I got to make a bottom plate that looks kind of like this, so that when I fasten this down, I have something to nail into. So I got to make a bottom plate, 2 side pieces, and then our roof structure is done, except for trim and roofing. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. We're pretty much buttoned up. We'll come back tomorrow and finish the trim, finish this peak off, and then we'll put our ice and water guard down on top of the car decking, and then we'll be ready for roofing on Saturday. So thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please click that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified upon every time we put out new content, click the bell icon as well. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day.